Chinese radio telescope FAST. The Chinese began building the FAST radio telescope in 1994 and completed it in 2016. This incredible project took 22 years and $185 million. The size of the telescope is amazing. The diameter of the main lens is as much as 500 meters or 1,640 feet. To create such a gigantic structure, the Chinese used the natural terrain. The telescope was literally built into the landscape. The lens was placed in a natural sinkhole, and above it, at a height of 140 meters or 460 feet, a radio receiver was installed. For those who are not fond of astronomy, let's explain a little. The radio telescope does not show the constellation and galaxies. He literally listens to space. A huge lens catches the radiation of space objects, and the radio receiver receives signals and transmits them to the equipment. To eliminate possible interference, radio telescopes are built in desert areas where there are no people. Here the Chinese faced a problem. It is very difficult to find a place in China where there are no people, but the authorities solved the problem very simply. They relocated all citizens living less than 5 kilometers, 3 miles, from the telescope. Only 9,000 people. For the Chinese with their population, this is nothing at all. Of course, all the resettled Chinese were provided with other housing, as well as compensation. Now the Chinese FAST is one of the best radio telescopes in the world. FAST is as much as 200 meters or 656 feet larger than the American Arecibo telescope. But size is not the main thing. The Chinese radio telescope sets the focus much more accurately and processes information 5 times faster. In addition, it has 2 times higher sensitivity. It looks like China is serious about taking the lead in the space technology race. The US and Russia will have to move slightly. How do you imagine a nuclear power plant? How do you like this nuclear power plant? It's quite strange, isn't it? From the outside, it seems that this is the most ordinary ship. But in fact, it is a unique mega project designed and built by Rosatom. This is a floating nuclear thermal power plant called Academic Lomonosov, which is located in the port of Pevek. By the way, this is the northernmost city in Russia, and Academic Lomonosov is the most northern nuclear power plant in the world. What is a floating nuclear power plant? This is a ship without its own engines, on which a nuclear reactor is installed. This means that this is a nuclear power plant, which can be brought relatively quickly by water to the desired port and provide people with energy. Academic Lomonosov provides Pevek with electricity and heat. The capacity of the new nuclear power plant is enough to provide electricity to a small city with a population of 100,000 people. The station reliably provides residents with energy, which is simply vital in the conditions of the far north. More importantly, a floating nuclear power plant makes it possible to abandon dirty energy sources and reduce carbon dioxide emissions. At the same time, the station itself needs to be reloaded with fuel only once every decade. The operation of the station is designed for at least 40 years. Academic Lomonosov became the first mega project from a whole series of floating nuclear units. Rosatom is also developing other similar stations, so soon several modernized younger brothers of Academic Lomonosov will give warmth to the inhabitants of many cities and settlements in the far north, and not only for them. With the support of Rosatom, floating nuclear power plants are planned to be installed in Latin America, Africa, and Asia, where due to earthquakes, inconvenient landscape, inaccessibility, and other difficulties, building conventional nuclear power plants is too expensive, unprofitable, and sometimes even dangerous. Shanghai Tower. It seems that fans of high-rise buildings live in Shanghai. In 2008, they built a shopping mall in the shape of an opener, which we will talk about a little later. And in 2015, they completed the construction of the Shanghai Tower. The Shanghai Tower is the tallest building in all of Asia and takes an honorable 3rd place in the world ranking. The height of this skyscraper is as much as 632 meters or 2,070 feet. It took 7 years to build a giant building. The cost of the project reached $4 billion, and this is an economical option. The fact is that the Chinese built the tower in the form of a spiral tapering to the top. This unusual design reduced the wind load by 24%. As a result, the architects reduced the number of steel reinforcements and saved $58 million. Galleria department store. This is a very unusual building that once you see it, you will never forget it. The Galleria department store, located near South Korea's Seoul, features a unique sculptural facade and mosaic glass inlays. The department store stands right on the border between the park and dense urban development, so the architects decided to make it an extension of the natural landscape. They made the facade look like a stone, and now the building looks like a huge block that has grown out of the ground. The Architectural Bureau conceives this department store not just as a place for shopping, but as a public space for local residents. Throughout the premium store, there is a route that is connected to the street. It runs through all the floors of the center, offering visitors stunning views of the city through transparent mosaic inserts. And the end point of the walk is the roof garden. On the territory of the center, there are not only shops but also exhibition spaces, as well as places for cultural and urban events. Songjang Hotel. Continuing the theme of unusual buildings, people in China are still enthusiastic about the Songjang Hotel, which opened 4 years ago. This unusual project became the first underground hotel in the world. The hotel sinks 90 meters, 295 feet, underground as it is built into the sheer wall of an old, abandoned quarry. Once again, the ingenious Chinese have shown how to intelligently use the old lands. Interestingly, despite the presence of a quarry, Songjang is often recognized as the most environmentally friendly hotel in the world. By the way, it is located in the outskirts of Shanghai. In total, this hotel has 18 floors. 16 of them are below ground level and only 2 rise above the surface. The roof serves as an original decoration and a great place to relax, as well as additional protection of the hotel itself from the effects of weather conditions. The hotel has 336 rooms, a huge number of recreational and entertainment areas, as well as cool restaurants. Shanghai World Financial Center. This skyscraper is often called the opener. The height of the skyscraper is 492 meters or 1,615 feet. This skyscraper is one of the 10 tallest buildings in Asia and ranks 11th in the world ranking. Despite its exceptional height, the opener is an incredibly durable and safe building. It can withstand an earthquake up to 7 points. It provides additional escape routes, protected stairs and elevators on the sides of the building. On each of the 12 levels, there are protected floors where people can take shelter in time of fire. On such floors, the walls are reinforced with a reinforced concrete frame and refractory steel shields. In addition, the windows there are not impact-resistant, but ordinary glass. If necessary, they can be knocked out and people will not suffocate in the smoke. The Chinese analyzed the events of September 11, 2001, and took all measures to ensure that this did not happen in Shanghai. The funny shape of the skyscraper is not a whim or a joke, but a hole in the top is necessary to reduce air resistance in strong winds. At first, the architect wanted to make the window round, so in the project the skyscraper did not look like an opener. But customers rejected the project at an early stage. The fact is that China and Japan are not very friendly, and a round window on a rectangular skyscraper looked like a Japanese flag. So the architect had to replace the circle. The South-North Water Transfer Project. The fact is that the south of China suffers from regular floods when the full-flowing Yangtze River overflows. But in the north, there is a constant drought. The Huanghe and Hai rivers flow there, and there is too little water in them. Even Mao Zedong proposed to connect the south and north with canals, changing the filling of the rivers. It was 70 years ago, and then the project seemed fantastic. But the Chinese people are stubborn. They made fiction a reality. The Chinese have already dug 2 grand canals. Residents of dry areas receive 10 billion cubic meters of water per year. In 30 years, this figure will rise to 45 billion. To dig the East and Central Canal, the Chinese moved 11 billion cubic meters of earth and laid 22 billion cubic meters of concrete. The total length of the hydrotechnical complex is 2,400 kilometers or 1,490 miles. Now the Chinese are laying the 3rd channel. Its length will be 500 kilometers or 310 miles. But the work will have to be carried out in the mountains at an altitude of 5,000 meters or 16,000 feet above sea level. The channel will pass not under the clouds, but above them. This construction is considered the largest in the world. The budget has already exceeded $80 billion, and yet the Chinese have implemented only 2 or 3 plans. And that was the easy part. Experts called the total cost of the project about $500 billion. Thanks for watching this video. Write in the comments which of the mega projects shown in this video impressed you the most. Like and subscribe to the Kero Show channel. Also watch our previous videos. Bye.